Hi guys, my name is Olivia. I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom to two kids. I have a 9-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. And today I'm going to be actually sharing our lunch menu for the week. I don't know about you guys, but I have no issue waking up and figuring something out to throw together for breakfast. I love doing dinner, but there was something I was on the struggle bus with lunch. I was really uninspired. And then I would get the arguments, hey kids, what do you guys want for lunch? I want this. No, I don't want that. I want this, but I don't want that. And lunch was looking the exact same every single day. And I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. So something that works for us, I am not great at meal planning. I don't often do that. I did put something together Monday through Friday so that I could have a little bit of structure and I could narrow it down a little bit. And this way my kids kind of know what to expect when it comes to lunchtime. And there's different things that I can customize for them and that they can choose. But for the most part, it's not a free-for-all for anything that's in the kitchen. And this has really worked for me in terms of just making the day a little bit smoother, because lunch for us is right in the middle of our homeschool lessons, and it was getting to kind of just be an issue. And so this has been my way of solving it. I am going to show you guys what I do. So this is my lunch menu. I used to just have it typed up on the fridge, just on a white piece of paper with some black typing on here. And then I saw Whitney from Brighter Day Press, and I'm pretty sure it was her. And she did like this watercolor thing for her lunch menu, and I just thought that looks so pretty. So I'm doing it as well. So I have the days split up between different kinds of lunches. Mondays is our sandwich days, Tuesday is our soup day, Wednesday is our wrap or quesadilla day, Thursday is our snack plate day, and then Friday is our salad day. It doesn't look exactly the same every single one of these days. The kids get to choose what they want out of these options. And honestly, this has just removed so much stress from my midday. My brain's already scrambled. I'm right in the middle of lessons. I'm thinking of all the things I have to do after lessons, before the end of the day, and this has simplified it for us. So what I did was, I have some examples. So this last week, I went throughout the week and I recorded what we ended up doing for lunch each of those days. Just an example of it. Obviously, I didn't make everything that I could have made, but out of what the kiddos chose for lunch this week, I recorded it for you guys. Bear with the voiceover. That was my very first time trying that. It was not super easy to do and then edit. So I have to figure out how to put background music in my videos so that if I do something like this again, there's not the awkward silences in between me explaining things. I appreciate it if you guys ended up sitting through that all. Just being gracious about the awkward silences. Also, something I just wanted to touch on a little bit. I'm planning on doing kind of like a get to know me video. I don't want to pigeonhole me into just doing homeschool on this channel. It really is meant to be kind of an intentional living, like my lifestyle. And a big part of that is homeschool, because we are a homeschool family and we homeschool year round. It's not like I'm gonna have a giant break in the summertime where I won't be having homeschool content on here. I struggle with an autoimmune disease. I have a kiddo that also has some autoimmune flare-ups. One of the bigger things that we absolutely focus on is our diet to help mitigate flare-ups or not feeling well. And so in the video, you're gonna see a lot of gluten-free options. I do not have celiac. No one in my family has tested positive for celiac, but we do have sensitivities, and absolutely when I'm working with my provider and I'm testing my antibodies, they're in a much better place when I am on top of gluten. So in the videos, you're gonna see how we incorporate gluten-free, or if it is a gluten product, what it is that we did that works for us, for our bellies, makes us feel well, and we don't have flare-ups here in our house. Something else that you're gonna see is I do mention products being like simple and minimal, and again, that has to do for health and lifestyle reasons. We really do feel better and feel our best here when we eat the way that I show you in these videos. That does not mean that we do not have random snacks or outings where we will go out and eat at any restaurant or anything like that. But on a day-to-day basis, this really is the way that we feel best, and it's something that I feel is really important, and so I make it a focus in our home. Quick disclaimer, I am not saying that I think you all should eat this way. I'm not saying if you struggle with a chronic illness or any sort of disease that you should eat this way. This is what I have found works best for our family, especially when testing and working with providers to see what's actually helping on the inside for me and my family. So none of this is medical advice. I'm not saying that this is a perfect way of eating. I'm not saying there's not room for improvement. I'm not telling you that every home should look this way. And I wish I didn't have to put the disclaimer, and in general, I probably don't, right? Like, this is my space and I'm sharing what's my life and what's real for my life, but I have seen YouTube not really be a safe space always for any discussions that have to do with health or lifestyle. Like, there's always going to be someone that sees something controversial in anything you do. And so, anyway, quick disclaimer. This is just an example week. Our weeks don't always look like this. They look different every single day. But maybe this can give you some examples to calm your lunchtime hour down a little bit in your home. I just know that this has really simplified it for me. So yeah, let's jump into those videos, and here's a week's worth of how we eat lunch in our home. Mondays here are our sandwich days. Sometimes we do peanut butter and jelly. I try to do a meat and cheese sandwich for the kiddos though. I'm using this Ezekiel organic sprouted bread. When you sprout your grains, it's another step that makes it easier for your body to digest because it's already been broken down in some sort of way. So even though we do avoid gluten with many things, we have found that this works for most of our bellies. It is one of those breads that you have to keep in the fridge, so it just stays a little firm because it's so cold. I roll it out a little bit with the rolling pin, but that's not necessary. It's just something that my kids are more tempted to finish their sandwich when it's softer. Here I've got Sir Kensington mayo, and I like a good smear of mayo on both sides of my bread. I know some people are light mayo likers if they like mayo at all. Some people are right in between, and others are like a heavy glob. So how is it that you guys like your sandwiches? Are you guys mayo people or no? I love a stone ground mustard. I like it so much better than yellow. I also enjoy it more than Dijon, though. Sometimes Dijon, just a recipe calls for it, and I understand, but if I could squeeze stone ground into something somehow, I use it, and my kids prefer it too, so that works for me. I have rinsed off and patted dry some of this loose leaf lettuce here. My kids don't like the crunchy bit on the lettuce, which it's hard for me to comprehend because I love that texture. I love the crunchy bit, but they don't like it. Our chickens will eat the scraps, so it's no big deal. This is wildflower honey ham. It is so yummy. It's from the brand True Story. This is, if you're pork eaters, a clean ham for sure. It's just water, the ham, celery, and some salt. This is raw cheddar from Organic Valley. It's mild. We are plant-based for almost 6 years here in our family, and one of the reasons we did that was because we were having issues with dairy. When we moved back into eating animal products again, we found that incorporating raw dairy, or as unprocessed of dairy as we can get, really works with our bellies a lot better than heavily pasteurized ones. So just playing a little cheese puzzle here on the sandwich. I do try to put some sort of green on the plate. Today I had some cucumbers in the fridge, so I'm going to slice these up. My kids really love sugar snap peas if I can get them. But today is a cucumber day. I had half of an orange left over in the fridge from breakfast, so I'm just going to split that up for the kiddos, and that can be their fruit on the side. These are plantain chips. We really enjoy these. They are not sweet like banana chips, like if you've ever had the dehydrated or dried banana chips. These are more savory. They're not as heavily, they don't taste as salty as normal potato chips do. It's kind of a nice in the middle compromise, but my kids really love these. And that was sandwich day. Tuesday is soup day here. Soup day can include ramen, and that's what the kids wanted today. So I'm just going to make some ramen here myself. Again, I'm using that brand True Story. This is pre-roasted chicken. It has really simple ingredients as well. I'm just going to chop it up small here. I just pulled these green onions right from the ground, so that's why they're a little bit dirty. But I'm going to chop these up small too. If we're not having ramen, there's several different soups. Sometimes I home make egg drop soup as well. There's some box soups that we really like, but the kiddos love ramen, and on days that we have our gluten-free noodles, they do like for me to make it. This is a hot pan here. I'm putting a little bit of ghee here at the bottom and melting it down. Ghee has a really high smoke point, so it works well with high heat cooking. Ghee is clarified butter if you're not familiar with it. I'm going to put the diced green onions and some chopped garlic here and cook those down in the ghee a little bit. This takes like 30 seconds. Green onions and garlic cook up super fast. And then I'm going to pop my chopped up chicken at the bottom too and just get it warmed up and browned a little bit at the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add some sea salt and also a little bit of black pepper. Adding some garlic powder in here would be super yummy. I'm pouring some filtered water in here. You could use chicken broth. I've also used vegetable broth. Both taste really yummy and add a lot of good flavor. I'm also sprinkling in some ground ginger. And then this is organic tamari sauce. Tamari sauce is soy sauce. It's not like coconut aminos. It's true soy sauce. It's just gluten-free. And then I dribbled a little bit of fish sauce on top. Again, super unnecessary. It just adds a little bit of flavor. I had some baby spinach left over in the fridge. I roughly chopped that and I'm putting it in here. You could wilt whole spinach. My kids appreciate a smaller bite when it comes to spinach. I'm going to put that on the stove and bring it to a boil. This was boiling right before I pulled it off. Here I'm adding the Lotus brand millet and rice ramen noodles. It comes in a big pack like this at Costco, but I know that there's other stores you can get it in. They cook up super fast and they're a little bit softer than wheat noodles, so you got to watch them. I'm also topping it with some rice wine vinegar and also some toasted sesame oil. You could absolutely top these with a little bit of fresh chopped up green onions. That would be really yummy. Also adding in some roasted seaweed would taste so good. We do that sometimes too. I'm out this week, but my kids love that. Putting some toasted sesame seeds at the top also is really yum. Or a poached egg, a soft-boiled egg. My daughter and I like a little bit of sriracha on ours. My son would like to do without. And I got these soft lemon cookies by this brand called Partake. They're gluten-free. They also happen to be vegan, but they were really, really yummy. I definitely recommend. Wednesday is either wrap or quesadilla day. If it is wrap day, it looks an awful lot like sandwich day. It just goes into a tortilla. So here I am grating up some more of that raw mild cheddar. And I'm using cassava flour tortillas by the brand called Siete. They are gluten-free. I know Siete offers a couple different gluten-free tortillas. There's some almond flour and a couple other ones. I'm really not a fan of any of them except for the cassava flour ones. These ones actually get soft, which if you're familiar with gluten-free cooking, you're kind of stuck with tough things a lot of the time, and these get nice and soft. Also not necessary, but I'm sprinkling a little bit of garlic powder, cumin, chili powder, and some onion powder on top. Quesadillas obviously taste good with just cheese and tortilla as well. I'm gonna put the lid on it. And this is a dry cast iron pan. I season my stuff pretty well, but I did wipe the oil out here, and I'm putting a lid on it because it helps melt the cheese a little bit. I'm showing you here when you flip it, it definitely does brown up. Normally, I serve the quesadillas with a side of sour cream, but I was out this week. We all love guac. It just takes a couple more steps, and I don't know, by lunchtime, I'm just kind of wanting to get things together and feed the kiddos. And whipping some guac up is not on my weekly list, but I didn't mind doing it this week. This is a little bit of yellow onion that I'm slicing up. I personally think red onion tastes better with some guacamole, but that's okay. I'm not going to use all this onion in here. My kids will only tolerate so much tomato and so much onion inside of a dip like this, so trying to be a little conservative. I also happen to have a lime this week. I'm typically always out of limes. This one was a little hard, so I rolled it out and that gets the juices going, and I'm also going to score it a little on the top and poke a fork in it. It just helps you squeeze it out a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of this black pepper as well. I sewed those other spices out, so I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of cumin, and a light sprinkle of some onion powder, and then I'm going to mix that up. This is the other half of the cucumber. Again, the chickens are going to get these scraps, so none of those peels go to waste. My 9-year-old son can absolutely eat 2 quesadillas all on his own, so that's what I make him. My daughter will not finish more than half, and she's 5, so my lunch is the other half of the quesadilla and some veggies and some fruit. All right, Thursday is snack plate day, and what I do with snack plates is I try to put a green on, some sort of protein, and some dairy. I also try to put a fruit on and then something crunchy. Today I'm doing celery rainbows. These were awfully flat pieces of celery, so they're not quite bowed, but that's what we call these little slices of the celery here. These are the last of my medjool dates. I need to get some more. These are the ones with pits in them. We love medjool dates. They taste so good with peanut butter in it, some grass-fed butter inside of it. Today I am putting some of this goat cheese in here. The goat cheese is tangy and creamy, and the dates are really sweet and soft, and it just makes such a great combination. My kids love this. Pulling out that ham again, the same one we used on sandwich day. Sometimes we use lunch meat like this. Other times sometimes I have some jerky. Other times I have some beef sticks. The Chomps brand has both beef and turkey ones, and we like them both. I'm rolling them up today and putting them on little toothpicks. My kids love when I give them toothpicks to eat their food with. I don't know, do you guys do this with your kids? But it's like hors d'oeuvre, and they're really into it. One of my kids wanted ham, the other one wanted roast beef. This roast beef is the Simple Truth by the Kroger brand. It's just beef and some celery, again, salt and pepper and water. They're really simple and not overly processed and have simple ingredients. My kids don't really like turkey on their own. I love a turkey slice, but it's not typically what I end up giving my kids. Today I'm using these Moonshot brand sourdough crackers. These do have white wheat in them, but sourdough is fermented and it's much easier digested for us when it's made with sourdough just because it is fermented. Sometimes I give them these crackers, sometimes I give them some corn chips. It just depends what the crunchy is for each week. This is a little bit of homemade ranch that I made for another meal. I thought that they might want to dip their celery rainbows into it, so this is snack day. Fridays are salad days, but I found this audio while editing and I thought it was too cute and I wanted to share.
Mama. What? That's my favorite fruit. It's funny salad.
Watermelon. Strawberries. Cherries. Oh, it's strawberries? Too cute. Okay. So anyway, today's salad day, and not like on a bed of leafy greens salad day. Salad day for us is tuna salad, egg salad, chicken salad, one of those. The kids wanted tuna melts today, so sometimes we just scoop it with corn chips or something like that, or eat it on lettuce boats. I made them tuna melts today. So I chopped up some celery, and I'm chopping up some more of that yellow onion. We like our salads to be a little rustic is what I call it, but it's really chunky. I like to have some chunks in my salads that way. This is the tuna that I like to buy. It's the Safe Catch tuna. It has been tested and it's well below the mercury limit, and it's line catch safe. This is packed in water, and it says on the top, do not drain. Obviously, it's to your preference. I dumped the whole can in here, and I top it up pretty small. I like adding some pickles. These are some dill pickles, and I'm going to cut them up tiny and put them in. Again, like I said, we like to have some chunky salads. I also add pickles to my egg salad when I make it. I know that probably makes some people cringe, but we really love it. So I'm going to cut up some of these baby pickles pretty small, add some more of the Sir Kensington classic mayo in here. Because I do dump the water in here, I try to stay on top of the consistency of how much mayo and more stone ground mustard I'm going to add into here. I don't like a super, super wet tuna salad. I'm going to mix all this up pretty good. Adding in some sea salt and some black pepper. Sometimes I do sprinkle in some garlic powder as well. It just depends on what I can remember to grab really fast when I'm throwing lunch together. This is the raw milk. I'm slicing it up again, thin slices so that I can melt it on top of some bread for these tuna melts. I can get my kids to eat sliced turkey if I give them turkey melts, and if that's something that they're wanting, we will usually do that on like sandwich day or something like that. Again, I'm using the organic sprouted Ezekiel bread. Because I'm toasting this, I'm not rolling it out because they're not going to be eating it cold. So I'm just going to divide this up and spread it out on the bread. And the leftovers is going to be my lunch with some sourdough crackers. Playing a little cheese Tetris puzzle situation on the bread again. And I use a toaster oven. You could definitely put your oven on low broil that way and just cook it until the cheese is melted and starts lightly getting brown on top. That's when I take it out. Today I had some mangoes that needed to be used up, so I know everyone has their preference of mango slicing. This is what I do. I slice it off of the pit on the inside, and I take a nice round mouthed cup and I push down to separate the rind from the mango meat, and then I slice it up this way and place it on a plate. I know a lot of people love to do the crisscross thing and then push the mango kind of like inside out, but me and my kids both have sensory things and are not fans of like sticky mouths, and I always end up getting sticky chin or sticky cheeks or something like that. So this is one of the ways that I mitigate that. There is still a good amount of mango bit on the outside rind, of which the kids don't usually mind biting off of that. Today I'm doing Jovial einkorn sourdough crackers. I love the Jovial brand. We use them for pasta as well. These are not gluten-free, but they are made with einkorn flour and not white flour. Einkorn, it just doesn't have the same gluten content and protein content as white flour does, on top of it being fermented because it's sourdough. So it's broken down and it's easier for our bellies when we eat this way, and we really love them. They're really good and they're mild. They don't taste super sour like the Moonshot ones. And this is our tuna melt day for salad day. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you guys have any questions, or you guys want anything clarified, or you just want to chat about any of the meals you saw me prepare or me make, or what works for you guys in your home and how you guys eat, I'd love to talk with you guys down in the comments. So don't hesitate to share down there, and I will see you guys in the next video.